Good morning, David.
Good morning.
Today we're going to remove the fixed orthotic you had for a few months, and because that helped you a lot, the option you chose was to do long-term metal-based orthotic, but that's not the important thing. Mainly what I wanted to ask you is, your main reason, why did you come to us primarily, and how did that help you? Go ahead, please, in your own words.
The reason I came is because I was having a lot of pain when I would do things like singing, which is a course that I've been taking as a student.
You're in college to be a singer?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one of my majors, and so...
What is your major?
My major actually in the whole thing is worship. It's a Bible college that I go to.
Okay.
And so one of my majors is singing, vocals, and I came here because of the pain that I would start feeling in my jaws.
Both sides?
Both sides, because of the intention that I would get. You know, trying to relax as a singer is really important so that you can sing and hit the right notes.
Yeah.
But
Curiously, this was somewhat diagnosed by your voice teacher, right? Tell me about that.
My voice, this was my fourth class, or the fourth level, and my vocal teacher noticed that there was something, wrong every time he asked me to relax my jaw. It just seemed like, for me specifically, I'd have to take the extra effort to get there versus the other students would be able to do it quicker. And so...
it's not that you're not motivated and trying hard,
right.
It's just like there's something holding you back.
Yeah, I had it in me to do it, and he could see that, but he could see something was hindering me from getting to where he thought that I could achieve it. And so that's when he said, maybe you should go get your jaw checked out. The first time a teacher... I
thought it was very perceptive of a teacher. Yeah.
It's probably those words were life-changing, because it really has been a difficult, I just didn't understand what was wrong. I thought maybe there's something, mentally wrong with me, or, when you don't understand what's going on in your jaw.
Exactly.
And so after going to two dentists, just to make sure that the first dentist wasn't just, saying stuff. And so after going to two dentists, having confirmed that I have TMJ symptoms, that's when I went to do further more research and find a specialist on it. And that's how I came here.
Okay.
And yep, I've been in this process for the last year with Dr. Raman.
Well, you mentioned life-changing. That's not a word people usually throw around. I'm sure you meant it. How do you mean?
Right. It's life-changing to be able to, when you have a physical disorder, to be able to live. I wouldn't say it's not your desire to live with a physical disorder, but it is to be able to live while you have a physical disorder. So that's a big difference. And so, to have a physical disorder because at times it would become so painful after hours and hours of singing practice, vocal practice, that I would get extreme headaches that were so
Where would you have them?
Just up here, and the pressure and behind my head over on the sides by my ear would get so excruciating pain, and I would think, wow, what's wrong with me? I don't think that all normal people go through this. Maybe there are a lot of people who have headaches, but to this extent.
And how old are you? You're pretty young.
I'm 23.
That's awfully young.
Yeah, that's really young to start having really intense headaches.
But you had problems, now that you know more about it, thinking back, you had some of these issues before?
Can you say that question again?
Now that you know more about it,
right.
I know when you're singing almost at a professional level, maybe not performing for pay, but you're getting there. So that's what kind of pushed you over the limit before you had a lot of these symptoms. Did you have any of them before that at all?
Before I had the TMJ?
No, before you had this voice teacher identify you had a problem.
Oh yeah. I would say I had it, but I had it wasn't as noticeable.
Right. You were starting to push
obvious.
that.
Yeah, I really pushed the envelope, I guess you'd say, when I started, really going for it and singing and doing what somebody in a professional level would be singing the number of hours that they need to practice every single week. And then I noticed.
How many hours would you normally do? That's your the most you would do.
Wow. In 1 week, probably...
Performance and practice.
Performance and practice, almost 15 to 20 hours or even more a week. And so it was like, it was hard. It was just really hard to have to do that every week and feel like, can I do this?
And expect to have pain.
Exactly. So it was like I was trying to survive through it versus being able to enjoy it. It was very painful because it started as enjoyable and it ended as, in the process it ended as something that was just...
Did it ever mentally hold you back and trying because you know you're going to pay for it?
Excuse me?
Did it mentally hold you back on pushing because you know you're going to pay for it afterwards?
Yeah. Many times it mentally held me back. Yeah, it did.
I just wondered because I think because a lot of it is being able to, as you said, have joy instead of having pain.
Yeah.
All right.
I
So
think it
go
was
ahead.
a miracle that I did 4 years of it, you know, or 3.5 years of it. And so,
With all that.
with all that going on and not knowing the first 2 years of pushing through it, you know, and so...
It's a lot of mental toughness.
Yeah, and so I think I reached a mental breakthrough in many times, but at the same time I begin to think, okay, there's wisdom, what am I going to do about this? And so,
Now fast forward, after you've been in this first phase physiologic neuromuscular orthotic therapy, which is what we call it. You had fixed orthotic. You used the word life-changing. In what way has it changed? What can you do now you couldn't before?
well, just a year ago when I would go home and visit friends, they could tell that there was something wrong with me after you know, you go home, I don't live at home, my original where I grew up is California, and so when I go home I love visiting friends and spending precious time with them, and so, but when I went home last year, it was like they could tell that in my heart's desire was to spend more time with them, like at least 2 to 3 hours to one good friend, but after an hour of just talking, it was like I was tired, I was ready to just, you know, sleep, and they just didn't know what was wrong with me, and I didn't either, and I thought, wow, there must be something nutritionally wrong with me, you know, and that is not always, you know, right, even though it is important.
So you're thinking there must be some explanation.
Right, yeah, and so then this time going back home, around in June, when I was back home, even my friends could tell a difference. They said, wow, David, you know, we know that you were going through this process of your TMJ thingy, and we can totally see a difference in you. You have more ability to talk and to enjoy conversation and not have to be, you know, subconsciously always worrying, you know, how much can I go on even further, you know? And that's the worst part when you love spending time with somebody and you're physically held back from that. And so
Awesome.
that was a big...
That's what you meant by life. And also, how about your singing part? You used some technical terms I didn't know. I'm not a singer.
Yeah, I was just telling Dr. Raman that, you know, getting this, going back to my voice teacher who pointed it out and gave me the advice to go, he could tell that there was a difference. He said, wow, David, when I asked you to hold a note on pitch, you can not only get on top of it and not go under it, but you can also, when you grab onto it, you can hold it out longer with more duration and endurance with it. And so, sustainability. And so,
power?
Power, yeah, sustainability and all the crescendoing and all that stuff that goes with it. And so
you can use the technical terms I don't know, but people watching this might know that.
So that was really great to feel that hope inside of me that I can do this, you know, and actually, you know that, also knowing that, you know, it wasn't something wrong with me, like mentally, you know, but more so it's something that just physically happened to me.
It's something that can be fixed.
Right, helped, yeah.
There may be somebody watching this that is a singer or aspiring singer, could be a professional singer, that is held back because of some of the issues you had. You want to say anything to such a person?
Yeah, I believe that you can do it. I believe that you can do it. I believe that most people who sing, I'm guessing now that there are a lot of people who love to sing and who major in it and who want to go for it in a career that may have a TMJ disability.
Meaning the jaw not lined up right.
Yeah.
So the muscles are constantly fighting it.
Right, and you might not know that you do, and you've been wondering, and so I just want to encourage you that, you know, if it is something that you're struggling with, you might want to check in and see if that's the
What
case.
kind of things did you feel? Like tightness here, or point out?
It was always the inability to relax my jaw. You know, when you try to hit notes, it's all of a sudden it stiffens up, and that was the one issue, to be able
That's a
to
clue.
relax your jaw, to be able to feel more comfortable when you're singing, and to not have that mental mind game going on
Yeah.
the whole time.
So if the jaw, facial, throat muscles, you know, if those muscles are tight, throat muscles are also have to be tight. You know,
Right.
the under the jaw muscles, the inferior hyoid muscles. The hyoid is the bone under the tongue. If that area is tight, it has to
Right.
fight you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I'm glad we were able to help you.
Yeah, thank you.